As I stated in the first round, an understandable reaction to the integrity issues in and around the government of St. Martin. In the first round, a couple of things, if not more, came to light. What came to light? One, that St. Martin acknowledges that there are integrity issues in and around the government. Two, it is a fact that the government was doing something about the integrity issues in the form of an integrity bureau. And this was being done before the issue of the integrity chamber came around. It is also clear from the first round that the government complied with the agreement made between the governments of St. Martin and the Netherlands in regards to the setting up of an integrity chamber. Also came clear in the first round that the process for setting up an integrity chamber came to an halt by the decision of the Constitutional Court, and that after the decision of the Constitutional Court, the minister in regards of the Netherlands, Mr. Plasterk, then appointed a quartermaster. And this is totally wrong. And a motion, Madam Chair, condemning this should take place here this afternoon. What was also clear in the first round is that the government of St. Martin continued on a different trajectory, ensuring that the checks and balances in regards to integrity breaches in St. Martin happened. So the government did not just sit down and didn't do anything. The government continued. It is necessary, Madam Chair, that the government of St. Martin to make clear as to the direction and process it is busy with in regards to the integrity checks and balances in St. Martin. This is necessary. So, Madam Chair, via you to the government this afternoon, can the government explain and be clear as to the direction and which process the government is busy with at this moment in regards to integrity checks and balances in St. Martin? Agreements made with the Dutch and accountability to the people of St. Martin are the two underlying factors that makes it kind of necessary that we, the Parliament, give the people of this country the assurance that we can handle our own affairs. We have been saying this, and now the opportunity is on the table in the form or regarding integrity issues. This issue of integrity control is not about one party or another party. This issue about integrity on St. Martin is not about who is in majority in government or not. It's not about this government or that government. It is something that we have to deal with as a country, and it is on the table, and it would be very good for the government and Parliament to give a clear indication to the people of St. Martin that we can handle this issue. For many, this might sound like a tall order, but I can assure you from experience, if we can't do this for ourselves, it will be done for us. And we know it will be done by the Dutch. So, I am awaiting a response, Madam Chair, from the government as to the direction St. Martin will be going into, or the direction St. Martin is already in. And in particular, Madam Chair, it is necessary for the government to also indicate a timeline. This will show the most serious part that the government is handling the issue in regards to integrity. I have heard, most naturally, as I said, in the first round, some of the direction in which the government is going. But I will await the response of the government in their response to the questions and the request from the members of parliament in their second round. Madam Chair, as I said, there's no need to be long-winded. It is clear what has to happen, and I will await the second round.
I going.
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 I going. I going.
I going.
I going.
I going. With the bike.
Are you going? Friday, April 28th, Carnival Village.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands, even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
Yes, it's the first Calypso 10 taking place on February 21st, 2017 at the Carnival Village in Gallows Bay, Marigot. Come out and hear 10 Calypsonians performing for you. King Bobo, Ricky the Fox, Lady Righteous, Ebony Empress, Shira, Baker Jr., Dr. Ray, Pepper, Chipman, and the reigning Calypso monarch, Shakia. It all takes place at the Carnival Village in Gallows Bay, Marigot, starting at 8 p.m. Entrance fee is only $10 or €10. Come out and support your local Calypsonians in the first Calypso 10. It takes place on February 21st, 2017. You better be there because I thought you'd be mistaken me.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
St. Martin, throughout the years, has shown its willingness to want to do what is right for St. Martin. The question is, how come all of a sudden there is this certain interest in this little 37 square mile island that we call St. Martin? And one of the interesting things, Madam Chair, while I was giving my presentation last week here on the floor of Parliament, immediately as I finished, and I went outside and I was talking to some folks, I had gotten the news that the Minister of Justice in the kingdom, Akban the Steward had resigned because of a something that was unfavorable, something that was questionable, that he had resigned in the kingdom, and as such, there was a whole, and then I read the article subsequently, and there was a whole write-up on it as it pertains to the elections in the States in the very day. But what is interesting, what piqued my interest, after knowing what is going on and hearing that, for example, the prosecutor's office fall under, and they get direct directives from the Minister of Justice in Holland, and I even questioned that. I said, while Holland is a part of the EU, they will never allow to have a Minister of Justice of the EU to implement that authority within their territory. So said, so done. And then my colleague Franz Richardson wrote an article in which the EU had started to talk back in 2013 about establishing a European prosecutor's office that would execute investigations of fraud and mismanagement of EU funds and so forth. And the Dutch representatives, because that's what they are, the Dutch representatives, and as I was saying, that the proposal to establish a European prosecutor's office to basically deal with the European fraudulent activities and so forth was adamantly denied by the representatives in the kingdom, under the premise that it would be a direct, and I quote, a direct attack on their sovereignty. A direct attack on their sovereignty. But in St. Martin, when we feel like our rights, our autonomy is being trampled, the impression is given that we are hiding it, we are opposing it for other reasons. Now, the same person, Madam Chair, that was giving instructions and in their capacity to lock up everybody that they saw fit in St. Martin is the same person who had to resign because they themselves has come under some kind of questionable scrutiny. And then now there's a proposal of the quartermaster, again, something for St. Martin. And then the question is the Council of Ministers in the kingdom, is the Council of Ministers do they have more authority than the Constitution of St. Martin or the Constitutional Court as such? Because the checks and balance that were put in place to avoid exactly these kind of things. That when you start to impose laws, because sometimes a law sounds good, but once you start to impose it, you go against the very rights of the people, which is the Constitution. And that's what the Constitutional Court decided. And again, Madam Chair, we are pulled into this sort of a tit for tat, butter for fat kind of debate with the kingdom. But it is constant. It is constant that they are the ones who are trying to impose their will on St. Martin. St. Martin has, as of the 10th of October 2010, St. Martin has a parliament. And that parliament makes decisions and laws that are relevant to this 13 square mile island. And again, it is clear what the role of the Dutch are. The role of the Dutch is foreign affairs, nationality, and defense. That is the role. That is the role. That was what was negotiated when we became, when we received separate status. So today now, we are here, and someone mentioned it last week. I think it was my colleague Clara Connor mentioned it, and I want to echo what he says, because if we are just going to come and talk and do nothing, and you know something, Madam Chair, one of the things that peeves me with this, because the first time this integrity chamber came up, I was one that was very I had opposed it with everything. And then, in spite of my opposition to it, so St. Martin does not, so the impression was not given that we are trying to hide anything. I voted for it. But that buck stops now, Madam Chair. That buck stops now. Because I am not going to be forced in a position where they can represent their people, but I can't represent mine because of shadiness or assume shadiness. I am not going to be put in that position. And we are here today, Madam Chair, and I know that I can speak for the United People's Party fraction, and based on the conversation that I've been having with my colleagues, I can speak for my colleagues as well. I know that we are going to stand firm as it pertains to this integrity chamber and this quartermaster. It is time for St. Martin to stand up and say no and mean the no, and not as a political party, but as St. Martiners. And what you see sitting down, the people that you see sitting down in their respective seats in Parliament, is what represents St. Martin. So, Madam Chair, I am still awaiting the information that I asked in the first round, and I hope that it will be provided to me in writing so I can review it. I didn't receive I asked for a couple of documents that I did not receive. And if it was given to me, my apologies, but I look forward to receiving that. Thank you, Madam.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
I going.
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 I going. I going.
I going.
I going.
I going. With the right.
Are you going? Friday, April 28th, Carnival Village.
Yes, it's the first Calypso 10 taking place on February 21st, 2017 at the Carnival Village in Dallas Bay, Marigot. Come out and hear 10 Calypsonians performing for you. King Bobo, Ricky the Fox, Lady Righteous, Ebony Empress, Shira, Baker Jr., Dr. Ray, Pepper, Chipman, and the reigning Calypso monarch, Shakia. It all takes place at the Carnival Village in Dallas Bay, Marigot, starting at 8 p.m. Entrance fee is only $10 or €10. Come out and support your local Calypsonians in the first Calypso 10. It takes place on February 21st, 2017. You better be there because I'm coming to be mistaken me.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Madam Chair, we're here today in the continuation of the meeting of last week, where the discussions surrounding the issue of the appointment of a quartermaster from 10,000 kilometers away. Madam Chair, like I said in the first round, I think it's unfortunate the way the Minister of Foreign Affairs have handled this issue without even having the decency to communicate with our Prime Minister here on St. Martin. And yes, Madam Chair, the discussions last week that I brought forward is some fundamental issues that the court, the constitutional court that St. Martin has in a constitution via the ombudsman to challenge any law that Parliament passes to make sure that is not in violation of at least what was found of the human rights, rights of privacy, and also, Madam Chair, the issue was very important. The absence of adequate human rights protection in the law, in particular the rights of fair process. Madam Chair, I think it's unfortunate that this issue all of a sudden became an issue for March 15th. And why is it March 15th? Madam Chair, election time in the kingdom. Madam Chair, I even saw where the Prime Minister of Holland even changed his tone to almost sound a little like Donald Trump against people. If you don't want to stay, leave. Madam Chair, it seems as if some politicians want to go the populist route to gain votes. But Madam Chair, the danger in going for the popular, one has to be very careful by not trampling on the rights of your citizens in your country. Again, Madam Chair, what did we saw over the weekend and the last few days? Madam Chair, I've never read so many Dutch news coming out of the kingdom over the last week. It has seemed as if all of a sudden more Dutch news has taken over the newspapers on St. Martin, but nothing good. Nothing good, Madam Chair, coming out of the news from the kingdom. Nothing states that the Dutch government is going to support to help St. Martin where it pertains to education, the social needs of these islands. Nothing to that fact. Madam Chair, and then one of the stories that struck me, the Netherlands not to join the EU fraud prosecutor's office. Imagine that, Madam Chair. The Netherlands is part of the EU, and they refuse because, and hear what they said, because Holland will lose its sovereignty. Imagine that. And the politicians are there saying, no, we can't be part of that because we will be giving away our sovereignty. Well, yes, Madam Chair, we as St. Martin don't have our sovereignty as yet, but we hope one day we will be able as a parliament to use those same words. But in the meantime, we will use the words in the sense that we can use that we must protect the human rights of our people, the rights to fail, the right to fight unjust, and the right to be able to be given the opportunity to defend yourself. And we as a parliament, Madam Chair, should always make sure that is done. And yes, we have our checks and balances. Like I said, that is the reason why in our Constitution we have the Ombudsman along with the Constitutional Court. It's our checks and balances. And yes, Madam Chair, we believe that this Parliament must come with a motion to outline to our kingdom partners the way they went about the issue of the appointment of a quartermaster was wrong.